13,275 pounds as you see it here today, which basically includes pretty much every option you can possibly put on one of these things. The awesome Talon 403 here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. Industry's best 2+3 warranty, wide body, roof package, roof solar package. You can see the generator, 6-point leveling, second awning added, 13-foot garage, loft, bath and a half, and a partridge in a pear tree. The only thing this is not is an ultralight. Now the only thing this rig does is everything. I mean, it does everything here. You can use this obviously as a toy hauler, a garage, but with the sleeping capacity this has, it's an awesome alternative to a bunkhouse. And you can think of it as like a bunkhouse with your own built-in 3 seasons room. Now they've got a little bit different like cargo bed lift system right here. And what's kind of cool about it is it doesn't have those annoying little silver pins that you can, you know, like pull out and get lost. So there's just less hardware to deal with. Now, this ladder right here, I would normally have that on the inside of the RV, but it's so long you could even, if you wanted to, for some reason during the daytime, use it out here, even down past the dovetail, that easy loading dovetail area that you have for upper bed access. Now the other thing, the reason that ladder's so long is that's also there to be able to get you up into the loft from the living area. But chances are at some point you're going to want to load something back here, so the question naturally becomes, what can you load? And with a 13-foot wide body garage and those adjustable either vertical or horizontal riding power lift sofa beds, the easy dovetail, all of those 5K D-rings that are anchored directly into basically the steel structure of the RV, the short answer is basically any dang thing you please. You can see we have a handy retractable screen wall, kind of like a garage door style, not one of the rolling tent walls, so it's just easy up and down. You want to convert this into a little bit of a kind of 3 seasons sort of a experience, you can do that. You've got that floating table with those real sturdy leg system here, not like an ironing board style, but I mean, it's, you know, you put it on flat ground and it's going to stay that way, but it's still a resin top, so it doesn't matter if it gets wet. Like today's a drizzly rainy day, it gets a little wet, no big deal. Like most fifth wheel toy haulers, you've got the like 6-person kind of seating area here, or you can convert it into kind of like dual opposing pretend theater sofa kind of jobs. It's just nice that you get that kind of flexible seating capacity. And then up front here, this is where you start to see every single little thing. The last 2 years, anything that people said, well, Talon should do this, Talon should do that, they were listening. They must have been making a list and they checked it twice because they did all of the things. You've just got tons of windows around here. You can see that there are washer dryer hookups back here now. And in case you're wondering, that is like a backup camera mount, and you're like, why is that in the garage? A couple different reasons. When you're going down the road, you hit a rough chuck hole, it's kind of nice to know that your toys in the back are staying where you put them so that, you know, bad situation doesn't get worse. Of course, we're all TV ready. Then there's the little detail things right here that they didn't have to do, but they're like, no, this is who we are. We're Jayco. We always do a little bit more. Added some clothes hanging racks, because if you're going to use this potentially as an alternative sleeping space, it's cool to do that. Or you could decorate it, put some lights up there. Notice too that even the windows in the doors are full viewing windows, and there's blackout shades everywhere. Another cool recent addition is the update to the BM Pro control system, and you'll find these little control panels all over the place. And each one of them has different buttons that are sensitive to the room and location within that room that you happen to be standing. It's very intelligent, and anything you can do off that system you could of course do right off your phone. There is a power vent fan here in the garage, and you see that whole gaggle of switches right there. You can control it right here from ground level. And the half bath, we have a porcelain foot flush stool. You know, plenty of legroom in here. And I like that it actually has a little bit of storage, and it's a sealed edge counter with a big sink. You'll find that trend repeated through the front bedroom as well. Now, just like in the garage and in the master bath, there's a power ceiling vent fan here. And like a lot of the other Jayco stuff, one of the things that the Eagle group kind of brought into the family were these handy little night lights, which is really useful, again, if you are, whether you're using this bathroom area at night or if you are using it like a secondary sleeper. Also with the slides closed, one of the things that's nice here is this has like a big sort of landing pad when you walk in the door. and it makes it nice and wide open. You can get in, you can get to that fridge. You're not really going to get to any of the seating, but if you need to get the RV, the core critical stuff packed up, or if you want to stop and grab a sandwich without opening up the slides, even though this thing with the generator and the solar and your battery and your truck, there's always probably going to be some way to open the slide. The fact is, it's always going to be something where you can at least make a travel stop. There's a few different decors you could choose from. Today we're looking at the farmhouse decor, which very popular, and especially when we turn around, when we see the kitchen area, see it really lightens, brightens this thing up quite a bit. And again, everything that people said, hey, a Talon should do this, that, why doesn't it have this or that? Like that big 4-door refrigerator. They said, you know what? You got it. You won't see the square, so you won't hear the air with this whisper ducted air system. We also like to build these with an optional bedroom second AC. And, I mean, the entertainment on this, it couldn't be much simpler. That TV obviously pivots right around to face you. And you got the big panoramic viewing windows over here on the slide side, or pardon me, the camp side of the RV, which happens to also be the slide side. Now, remember those little remote control kind of switch panels I was telling you about? The lights above, the sconce lighting, the pendant lighting, the main cabin lighting, you can do all of that stuff from that little, what looks like remote control on the wall next to that big, 3-place recliner party sofa extravaganza thing that we're looking at. So it's really, if you're just sitting there and it's getting later, it's early, you want to turn the lights on and off, you can control that stuff right there. All 3 of these seats can do all sorts of fun different things, whether it's heat, massage, recline. The middle section obviously folds down to function as something of almost like a console you'd see in a pickup, but you've got household and USB plugs built into that as well, and keeping your toes nice and toasty is a handy electric space heating fireplace. Now, I want to take a step back here and really look at this. We're going to have to do it in several phases, because this kitchen it's got a deceptively large amount of cabinet space. You don't realize it when it's all tucked away like this. Encircling that, just the entire entertainment wall there, which is actually wrapping around the half bathroom, if you kind of look at the inside versus outside areas. It's not shallow. That's the thing. They made all of this nice, big, deep storage space, and those hidden hinges really kind of dress everything up very nicely. The TV doesn't have to be sticking out like we saw it. If you want it a little more angle mounted, you can. We've got solid surface countertops through the kitchen. When we turn around in a second, we'll see the kind of buffet island area. Pop-up power tower here for easy appliance use and function. Stainless sink below that high-rise sprayer faucet. You can see you got kind of the cutting board cover as well as the roll-away dish drying rack. But even down here, when we get behind this peninsula, it's a little bit of dark on dark right now. And I don't have the best lighting currently, so the camera's not doing the greatest job of picking up some of the depth of the cavities. But when you're in it in person, you see that this thing is just loaded with storage. And it's almost like an infomercial. It's like you keep opening up this cavity and then that cavity and then that cavity, and you're like, but wait, there's more. I mean, it just keeps going. If I step back a little bit here, you see, I even forgot to open one of the drawers. There's 4 plywood full extension drawers right here. Then there's full drawers below both the oven as well as the refrigerator. Now, the 4-door big fridge that we're looking at, that is an optional piece of equipment, but what I love that they did here is usually when you upgrade to a larger 4-door fridge like that, instead of a conventional 2-door 8 cubic foot fridge, you will tend to lose the pantry space beside it. And while it is reduced here, you don't lose all of it. You actually still maintain a pretty functional pantry space, especially considering that big open chunk of cabinetry that we're looking at above that little buffet kind of appliance center. On the way through, up to the bathroom and bedroom deck, we're going to pass the BM Pro control system. This is awesome. I think it's probably, my opinion, it's the best of these kind of little touchscreen control center things that I've seen used in this industry yet. Anything you can do off this, you can do off the app that you could put on any Android or iPhone, and that's pretty normal. But the amount of things you can do on it it's impressive. And the information it gives you, like leveling, heating, cooling, it's like one control and in command, they each do like 90% of everything, and this does 100% of everything. Not to mention the fact that I love how it still just has buttons for quick access features like lighting. You can open your awnings and slides without needing to do all the little touchscreen magic stuff. Not that it's hard, it's just that it's nice to have a direct button to do quick things sometimes. Moving upstairs here into the bathroom, that no matter what decor you get, I do believe it'll actually look like this. That's typically the way that Jayco has adopted, although the cashmere cottage decor, I believe that's what it's called, it's on a fairly light tone itself, so it may be a little more consistent. Now, today is a drizzly, not fun weather day. I would much rather be where it's warmer, but that rainproof vent fan that we talk about when we get up on the roof in a few minutes, it's a perfect day for something like that. Good linen space. This is a very common, fifth wheel bathroom arrangement now, and for good reason. It's probably one of the best combinations and ratios. Like, you've got good floor space in front of the toilet where you can get in and out of the shower or get dressed or have legroom. There's shelving space below the sink, so you've got good storage there. You have a corner seat inside that big shower. Just like the half bath, you have a sealed edge countertop and a big sink there. You also have backlighting for accents around the mirror and another of those handy blue night lights. So it doesn't matter, if it's early, if it's late, or when it is. You can always see in here, and if you are tired or if you're trying not to disturb everybody, you don't have to be blinded by the light. Second AC has been added up here in the bedroom, so you've got dual 15,000 BTU air conditioners giving us 30,000 BTUs of cooling power. And what's nice is there's no step up around this bedroom, so it's a full normal walk-in height. We've got that larger king bed that we've added here. I'm at a funny angle to try to see it, but there's a huge viewing and breeze window to the right side. Now the lights over the bed, whether it's those white reading or little blue night lights, those are on separate switches. Like, every light in this room basically has its own separate switch. We're still very CPAP friendly. You can see you've got some dresser drawer space over there. Much like the Eagle cousins to these things, they include a window in that closet slide over there, so you maintain that extra light and airflow. And I wanted to lift the bed so you could see down below that line more easily. Well, first of all, nice bed storage right here. That's a big chunk of space, and it's obviously easy to get to. Plus, we've got, good dresser capacity below that. That's kind of hard to see when the bed's in the way. Nice, tall, hanging closet. It's worth mentioning. TV hookups across from the bed. That should go without saying, but I've learned that if I assume that, someone asks, what, you can't hook a TV up in the bedroom? And then I, want to smack myself for not saying it sooner. And these are not hanging closets on either side, like that over there. At a glance, you look at it and say, oh, is that a hanging closet? No, it's just extra cabinet space. But, man, you could just pack this sucker full. And it's funny, even though this uses the exact same fiberglass as the Jayco Eagle fifth wheels and trailers, it doesn't resemble them at all. It doesn't look like it at all, because just that gorgeous black accent painted onto that nose there, all the different decals. It really, truly has its own identity. This is hands down the best generation of Talon to date. Frankly, this year, I think Jayco's coming out with their best generation of all Jaycos pretty much to date ever. I like those glow beams also. You see those orange accent beams on either side of that black paint and the skirting the Talon name. And there's a white kind of hitching accent beam down below that. The reason that they're using orange up top, because a lot of Jayco stuff is blue, they're using the orange because that's DOT approved. Now, the generator up front, that is an optional piece of equipment, giving you that capacity to do anything you want, anytime you want, anywhere you want, as long as the RV can fit there, of course. And along with that, you'll see that we've added the Overlander roof solar package to this thing. So, I mean, you're just truly anywhere capable the way that we have built this. Understand, we've added a lot of extra money worth of options to this thing. You could certainly get it a couple pounds, well, a good chunk weight less between the things like that generator coming out of there, but you could get it multiple thousands of dollars less. But man, I really feel like this is how people are going to want this sucker equipped right here. The 6-point auto leveling system we put on here has also made it super sturdy and stable, so that wherever you happen to park at night, you're going to be good to go. And this has a larger water heater than its Eagle sisters. This is a 10-gallon gas and electric fast recharge simultaneous use water heater that you typically find on something like a North Point or a Pinnacle. The enclosed docking station here has a full shower up top and you'll see the blue coily hose and sprayer handle. You might have noticed it already on the opposite side of the RV when we get there. And up top you have motion lighting and a solar prep plug. And I've got some rain droplets on the camera lens. Apologies, either that or there's droplets on my glasses. I can't even tell which at this point. But a galvanized rolled steel enclosure right here. Now what's kind of cool is, you know, the just like the Eagles, this has the exact same insulation package, you know, enclosed, heated bellies, radiant barriers, all that good stuff for that, you know, whether it's hot or cold camping, extended season protection. Man, just take a second, just take it all in. That is just a good looking rig. I love the very well dressed rear ramp patio with the steps coming off it. I think you're going to see more and more and more fifth wheel toy haulers adopting a step system instead of just the quote luxury segment. Now down and to the left of that always on side mount roof ladder is your fuel station. That does share a fuel cell with the generator up front, so you can't kind of dual fuel this thing. You'll have to bring a separate tank if you want like a high octane for your toys or something like that. The dual cells is something that you will find in the Seismic series though, and there's a new smaller Seismic, the 3512 I believe it's called, that is very, very similar to this floor plan. So even though this thing is, I mean, it's just already got all the widgets, you can get even more of all the widgets in the Seismic series, and we'll have those rolling in here at Haylett RV as well. The quick set ramp patio system on the back of this, it sets up simple, fast, and easy, and that's, you know, it's a big rig. The quicker I can get there, the quicker I can get it set up and make my experience simple, fast, and easy, the happier I'm going to be as a owner. Also, this does have the J Smart lighting system, which stands for signals, markers, and reverse travel. So let's say you flip on your right-hand turn signals over here, all associated side marker lights will blink, and those kind of like ramp floodlights, those things will turn on when you shift into reverse. Your vehicle will basically talk to the trailer. That's one of those things where it might cost $1 more to own a Jayco, but it's a nice feature and frankly safer. But I also wanted to take a moment to close up that ramp so you can see a couple little differences here. Notice the radius corners on the ramp? Jayco uses a different kind of ramp door from pretty much everybody else in the industry, really. The nice part about this, people know radius corners a little stronger structurally than like a 90-degree dog-eared corner, although those are fine. It's the difference, again, between good and better, kind of like Jayco's plywood Magnum Truss roofing that we're going to climb on in a second. Secondly, when this thing was down in the patio position, you don't have those sharp corners jabbing you in the shoulders and the hips and the sides and whatever, like my chubby little fat rolls hanging off me. These also have key locking cam bars, which is, it's just easier, more secure, and I don't know, I've just always felt that it had a little bit better seal on the door, even though that has nothing to do with those cam bars. That's just kind of one of those things I think I've always jumbled up mentally. Now back here, I've got the awnings plural open. That rear awning is optional. You've got a 20-foot standard front awning. And then why stop there? Why not just cover the entire thing with patio space and add a second power awning, both with LED lighting? They're easy tilt for what it's worth, even though they're up there pretty darn high. Now, I'm really happy with the team that's developing at Jayco right now. When I first saw this revised Talon kind of Platinum Series thing right here, this was a triple step, and I was like, you know, I've got long legs, but it's feeling a little too tall. Like, it feels like if you're expecting a fourth step because the front Morride's table steps is a 4-plank, it feels like this should be, and like I feel like I fall off that last step. And they went, you know what? You're absolutely right. And they did it. And it's a nice aluminum anti-slip step. We've got our best in class Goodyear Endurance Beast tires. These things are so big they had to specially design the chassis and running gear and everything to accept them. You can't just slap these on an existing RV. They're too big. The only American source tire used in the towable RV industry, rated for up to 87 miles per hour, and even on this big girl, only needs 80 PSI. And we've got the same Morride CRE 3000 rubber shock dampening suspension system here that you find on a lot of those big luxury fifth wheels all the time. Little things like that, I think that's kind of what, you know, helps support the 2+3 warranty. You might have noticed there's 100 little factors that key into that. Now this is really neat. Not only did you notice that Morride's stable step system had a second handle, but it's also the zero gravity variety that will hold itself up. Very cool. You've got a full, like, outside shower on the opposite side of the RV, but for quick little campsite cleanups, they include the handy little blue coily hose with the little air hose style quick connect. And it's nice that they also include the little sprayer handle. It's just, it's those little details, you know. And if you don't like this handle, it's a residential fitting. You could go to any garden section of any store and swap it out for one you like. I also like the fact they put the speakers here in the skirt, so that they're down low where, you know, you can actually hear them without blowing away the neighbors. Now, a couple more things here before we hop upstairs. I want to take a peek through the pass-through compartment. Like most toy haulers this size, is this as large as something like a North Point or a Pinnacle? No, but you've also got a 13-foot garage, so I think that this is fine. And motion lighting on both sides of the pass-through. Very similar features, really. It's basically all the same treatments down here that you'd find in an Eagle on a Talon, because once again, it's kind of developed by the same people, including that radiant barrier for that upper bed and bath deck, so that you have yet another kind of air-controlled pocket to help prevent, you know, heat loss or cooling loss or what have you. And as mentioned a few times, we have built this not only with both air conditioners, but also the Overlander solar package. Now, keep in mind, the one that we have in stock could be different from the one here in this video. But again, I think this is probably how you're gonna wanna see them. Now, pardon my umbrella kicking in there. I am up here, it is windy, I'm trying to shield the rain, and I already got one raindrop on the lens. Although, again, that could be on my glasses at this point, I can't even tell. So, the Overlander solar package, it's a 190 watt raised high efficiency panel, so air can get under it to cool it to make it work more effectively. And the charge controller. What's cool about this is this is not the kind of solar that can like run your air conditioners and stuff. You have generator for that. That's the idea. This is the kind of solar that can basically run any and all of your 12 volt effectively, indefinitely, given normal, you know, sunshine conditions, meaning some days you get more, some days you get less. So that's, the thing is, that is a very inexpensive solar package considering what you get for it versus some of the solar systems that are out there in the marketplace. Now, on a day like today, with rain spritzing me, and I sure hope you folks appreciate the effort and the dedication. This is not fun weather to be doing this, but that's the funny thing about service for clients. It's not supposed to be about what's convenient for me as a dealer, it's supposed to be about what benefits you as the client. So hopefully you understand that that's our pedigree here at Haylett RV. Trust me, I'd much rather be in my warm, dry office. So, it doesn't matter where you are. All I'm saying is, you appreciate what we're doing here in this weather? I'm probably catching the flu, who knows? Give our team a call. Woo, there comes that wind. Anyway, on a rainy day like this, that rain vent over the bath vent fan's a very cool thing, because basically it sucks air in from under. The air intake's actually curled down, and that will, you know, give you a rainy day kind of mist-free airflow. And our Winegard Air 360 antenna system here, it's nice that it doesn't crank up and down, and you can basically upgrade it to be like an LTE receiver and have a like signal repeater, basically a router built into your RV. So this over here, where this happens to be parked just because our main lot was full currently, is what we call our overflow lot. This is where we have just copies of all of the things that we have in stock. And it will get packed tightly over the winter season. It will get packed full. We're kind of like squirrels that way. We bury our nuts in the ground, and then in the spring we unearth everything, and there's just a heck of a feast and a bonanza. But the good news, they're on wheels. Doesn't matter where we are, where you are, what the weather's like on a given day. Obviously, we're willing to go to those extremes. We make deals happen here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan, and we do it without hidden dealer fees. So, you know, give us a call. We do it all. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.